Please be seated. For as many words as we have in English, it doesn't cover everything. I think it's Norwegian, they have the word hygge, which is when it's really cold outside and you cuddle under a warm blanket with a hot drink and a good book. That required 4 sentences and not 1 word. In the Inuit language, they have something like 15 to 20 different words for ice. We have 1. For the word love, Greek has 3 different kinds of love, and we have, again, 1 word. Possibly my favorite is in American Sign Language. It's in English that roughly translates to love. So chocolate, right? It's that like, I love it, oh my gosh. It's that like real enthusiastic love. We have something very similar happening with the very beginning of our gospel passage this morning. Very fortunately, you're welcome, for you have a priest, a preacher, who is from Texas. So allow me to translate. Jesus said, y'all, don't let y'all's heart be troubled. Let me say that again. Y'all, don't let y'all's heart be troubled. This is talking heart singular. It's not each individual's disciple's heart, it's the collective singular heart. Where we find ourselves is all the way back at Maundy Thursday. This is Jesus' final night with his disciples. This is the question I love to come back to. If you had one last night with those that you loved, what would you say? This is Jesus' master class with his students. And that's where we find ourselves. Jesus has washed the feet of the disciples. Peter has put his foot in his mouth at least twice at this point. Once when he says, oh, let me wash your feet. Jesus says, no, I wash your feet. He said, oh, then wash all of me. Nope, you're good with just your feet. And then later on, Jesus says, one of you will betray me. He's talking about Judas. And Peter says, putting his foot in his mouth again, surely not. No, that's not happening. And Jesus says, you will deny knowing me 3 times in less than 12 hours. And so now the disciples are terrified, right? They're like, whoa, what's happening? And it's to that Jesus says, do not let don't let y'all's heart be troubled. There's something about knowing that if those disciples stick together, that they're going to make it. And we see this later on. They scatter. And it's the women who stay together and hold faith. And it's the women who show up. But when the disciples scatter, that's when the trouble comes into their individual hearts. It's not about an individual anxiety that one might experience, as this verse is so often used. Don't let your heart be troubled over the mortgage payment, right? That's how we often hear this. It's our collective singular heart. The other place that this word troubled shows up in the gospel is Jesus is troubled. And it was at the death of his friend Lazarus. Troubled isn't just about fears and concerns. It's about this grief and sorrow. It's about bearing. It's about holding. Do not let your hearts break in the midst of what's about to happen. Do not let your collective heart break. If you've ever seen a choir performance, like the kind where they hold a note and go, ah, and it keeps going, and keeps going, and keeps going, and you go, how on earth do they have the capacity to do that? One, if they're doing this, they have excellent breath control. It's like a muscle and you exercise. So I'm not discounting that. The other part that will often happen is that when a choir is well trained, they will know to stagger their breathing. Not all of them are going to take a breath at the exact same moment for those elongated periods. Other times, yes, they all breathe together. But for these elongated periods where you're thinking, how on earth is it still going? It's because they're staggering their breathing. That, I think, is a great illustration for y'all don't let y'all's heart be troubled. How do we do that? Is we breathe at different times. And we stay together working to hold a single note. Sounds easy enough, right? Right? Okay, this all sounds good. Now, what note are we holding? What is the note that we are holding? How do we know where we're going or how we're going to get there? And Jesus answers that question as well. There's this interesting play on words. Philip and Thomas are going, Jesus is saying, I'm going to prepare a place for you. And the vision that came to me was honestly when I would carry my kids in a backpack carrier. This idea of Jesus is saying, I'm going to be the one carrying you. I'm going to be the one holding you. The abiding is a nurturing relationship holding. It's about the relationship and not necessarily the physical place. But the disciples are over here stuck on the earthly and saying, where is this? Like, is it around the corner? Is it in Jerusalem? Like, we would like a map, a physical map to show us where we're going. And Jesus is saying, y'all, I am the map. I am the map. I can remember going on long road trips with my parents and my 3 siblings in a car. My dad's driving along, and he's got the, what's it called? Rand McNally book, the spiral-bound book that's like got the graph of the graph, and you have to like pull it up, and my mom is going over here going, flicking through the pages, and my dad is going, okay, is it this exit or the next exit? Is it this exit or the next exit? Rick, hold on just a second, I'm looking. Has anyone else had that experience, or is that completely unique to me? Okay, excellent. What Jesus is saying to his disciples is that you have me. You have the Rand McNally book. You have the Google Maps. You don't even have to figure out what chart we're looking at. You have me. I am the way, the truth, and the life. That's how you get to this relationship with the Father. This particular expression of being in relationship with God. Christians claim to be children of the divine Creator. Whoo, that's a bold claim. And how we do that is through the person of Jesus. In baptism, we're adopted by the big, grand, great Creator of this beautiful, chaotic, mystifying world. And we know the way to that God through the backpack, the baby carrier, the Google Maps that is Jesus. So my beloved, y'all, do not let our heart be troubled. We've got Google Maps. We've got Jesus. Amen.